Hey guys, it's What's Up Wednesday. This is what happens when you wake up at 5:30 in the morning to drive your daughter an hour to a pediatric dentist. Today's What's Up Wednesday. I'm going to talk to you guys again about trusting your gut. This is round 2. So if anybody was in here a few weeks ago, I came in and said, you know when things are right, you know when things are wrong, whether you're pregnant or you have a baby, you have to trust your gut and follow what you think is right because you know if you need help and you know if something isn't right with your baby. So here I am on my soapbox again, pretty ticked off, not gonna lie. And I went to the pediatric dentist this morning and found out that my almost 8-month-old, she'll be 8 months on Friday, had a pretty severe tongue tie and lip tie that had gone undiagnosed until literally this morning. And actually, I knew about the slight lip tie, but anyway, I had complained about feeding issues to every person that I have seen so far at our 2-week appointment, at our 2-month appointment, at our 4-month appointment, at our 6-month appointment. I emailed our lactation consultant, my doula that was a lactation consultant, and hadn't heard back from her. I had called the lactation consultant at the hospital. I had seen the lactation consultant at our pediatrician 3 times, who gave me poor advice at every single turn. So also, when you know what's right and you know what's not right, if you feel like you're getting bad advice, you probably are. So again, I'm very pissed, but it's fine now. We got it taken care of. But we went almost 8 months with it's actually a pretty severe tongue tie. And of course, this is coming from, by the way, the woman that wrote a breastfeeding ebook saying tongue and lip ties are probably a huge part of your problem if you're having breastfeeding issues. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you one of the reasons why I didn't even notice that we were having problems was because she was gaining weight. So a lot of the times you will see that your baby's gaining weight and things are going well, but you will still know if there's not something going on. So basically, she was gaining weight. We didn't have latch problems. There wasn't milk leaking out. There wasn't a lot of the other issues. I wasn't getting some of the other symptoms that you can get with a bad tongue tie or lip tie, mastitis, thrush, blanched nipples, pain, bleeding, etc. It can be rough, and I wasn't having any of that. But what was happening, and this is what makes me so pissed because I felt like something wasn't right, was that my daughter was choking. She was gagging and choking for months when she was born, like literally just would choke every time she ate. And the pediatrician, it was a nurse practitioner, the pediatrician kept saying she just must have had small airways or had overactive letdown. Talked to another lactation consultant over the phone. Oh, it sounds like overactive letdown or oversupply, which I know I don't have oversupply. So anyway, these were all things that I had been told. I just kept saying, this isn't right. Something doesn't feel right. This is not a normal situation. This is not something that, the way that she should be eating. So what precipitated me finally going to a pediatric dentist is about 2 weeks ago, she just stopped eating, just slowed her roll, and except for in the middle of the night. And I was freaking out. Her diaper output was really low. The only really wet diaper was in the morning after, 12 hours of not changing it. And she was starting to have hard poop, so she was obviously constipated and dehydrated. Would not take a bottle. I did not know what was going on, but I was freaking out. I thought she was, I thought maybe it's teething. Still haven't seen any teeth. A lot of things, I was just a kind of a hot mess, as you guys have noticed. Sometimes I'm just like, what? What do we do? So, again, jumped on Google, called another lactation consultant, and finally talked to someone who said, I can't see you because she was at the hospital, and she said because of COVID, they weren't doing in-person visits, but it really sounds like she might have a tie. I know you said you were, evaluated, and they said she was fine, but you really need to go, check out this pediatric dentist. So this was Friday night, called Monday morning, got an appointment, went in this morning, took a little jaunt this morning at 6:30, started driving, made it there by 7:30, and at 8:30 had a severe tongue and lip tie clipped. So off my rant, but basically that's for me saying I talked to 4 different people and was told there was no problem. If you as a mom feel like there's something that's not right, keep going. Just, there is a problem. If you think there's a problem, there's a problem. So find answers, keep pushing, because you are the only one that's going to advocate for yourself and for your little baby. And that's all I'm going to say about that. The other thing that I will, my first Trust Your Gut post was around my baby's allergy. So she had a very severe gastro reaction. It's called FPIES, like F like flour and pies like apple pie, food protein-induced enterocolitis syndrome. And the same lactation consultant, who's the nurse at my pediatrician, called me back after I had told them, we had this awful reaction, and said, oh, don't worry about it. Just, we'll see her at her 9-month. I didn't take that at face value at all, because the reaction was so severe. She was vomiting for hours straight. We didn't have to go to the hospital, but a lot of times kids with this reaction do go to the hospital because they get severe dehydration and can go into shock. So I didn't have to do that, but I was convinced that something wasn't right, and it had happened twice after we'd given rice cereal, which, by the way, is not the safest food you can ever give a baby. No matter what you've been told, please, please, please do not be putting rice cereal in your bottles, especially if, besides the fact that that's bad, it isn't true that no baby is allergic to rice cereal, because I have one that is. So that being said, I was also told by my pediatrician's office that I had no problem. I didn't believe that, got myself a virtual consult with the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. They diagnosed her with this FPIES reaction. I now have a letter for the hospital. I have a list of foods we have to avoid. I have to introduce solids differently. Anyway, and it's fine. It's great. Like, we have something, that we can figure it out. But if I had just listened to, the one nurse that called me back from my pediatrician, I wouldn't have gotten all those answers. So, again, that was my first Trust Your Gut. And I know not everybody was in here, not everybody saw that, but that's, if you think something is wrong, and this also applies, obviously, not just your baby, like, you're the biggest advocate for your baby, but if you're pregnant, if something doesn't feel right, if you have a question about something, like, never, ever feel guilty about advocating for yourself or your baby. You have to do it, and you're the only one that's going to do it. So I just wanted to, get on my soapbox and say that. The other thing I wanted to let you guys know about, I hope everybody that participated in the Breastfeeding Quick Start Challenge loved it. Those videos are still up, but I wanted to let you guys know that I'm also going to be doing baby prep and postpartum coaching. I'm just going to be offering those services. So if you have interest in that, definitely comment. I'm going to put up pages and links in case anybody wants more information. But if you just need some help getting everything ready, what do you need to do? I'm going to be launching a full course on baby prep and conquering postpartum soon. You're going to hear a ton more about that in the coming weeks. But if you can't wait that long, you can absolutely just reach out directly, drop a comment, send me a DM, and we can talk about how we can get you squared away, because having a new baby is, a huge change. Getting ready for that baby will make you feel so much better once you feel like you're not stressed anymore. And then obviously now we know once you have the baby, you obviously still have to continue advocating for them. So don't ever forget, that you know what you're doing, even if it doesn't feel like it. And don't ever feel bad about advocating for yourself or for your baby. And I'm a product of what happens if you wait, because somebody, and just never give up. Like, I waited and said, oh, she must be fine. And then finally figured out at close to 8 months, there was an issue that needed to be addressed. But you know what? We addressed it, and she's, 7 months, not 7 years. And now we're not going to have to worry about any feeding issues, swallowing issues, any of that. So if you have any questions about whether or not your baby has symptoms of a tongue or a lip tie, absolutely reach out, drop a comment, whatever. I'm happy to answer anything like that. First baby also had a lip tie. These are they're genetic too. So if you have one with one, think about that for your next one, two, whatever, how many you have. So anyway, hope you guys have a good rest of your Wednesday, and let me know if you're interested in any baby prep postpartum coaching. I'll be sending out links, putting those in the files, etc., just so everybody can find it. And yeah, hopefully we will chat soon and look for more information on conquering postpartum. All right, bye.